Hi, are you one of those people who are afraid to take risk? I know there's so many people out there who want to do big things in their life, who want to achieve new milestones for themselves, but are so afraid to take risk. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can increase your risk capacity so that you can achieve new milestones for yourself. If this topic sounds interesting to you, stick till the end because I'm going to deep dive into this topic today. Hi, my name is Seldon Tenzing. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a life coach, a business coach, a speaker, and author in making. And it's a great privilege to be here and speaking with you, my mind, so that I can help you level up in your life. So shall we deep dive into topic? Well, first of all, let's understand why you must even take risk in the first place. Well, risk can also be an opportunity to grow. You must take risk because everything, your growth is outside your comfort zone. Your growth is not within the same routine, the same things that you have been doing. That is not growth. That is something that you're already familiar with. You already know what's coming and how to do it, what to do it. Your growth will only come when you get into unfamiliar territories. When you try to explore something new, get a new skill, get a new knowledge, try a new business, get a new job. So everything outside your comfort zone is where the growth comes in. And when you go into unfamiliar territories, that's what we call as risk, because then you'll be like, oh, I don't know if it's going to work. What if I fail? What will people talk of me? And all of those limiting beliefs and fears start to crop up. So that's a risk. But you still need to take risk, because if you consistently sit where you are for the rest of your life, then that means you're not exploring your growth. That means you're not exploring what your true potential can be. And if you want to stay in that comfort zone for the rest of your life, that's okay. It's your choice. But if you're somebody who says, no, I have bigger dreams, I want to level up, I want to do this, that, goals, dreams, aspirations, if you are somebody like that, then you must be willing to take risk. Okay? Because risk is something which will push you out of your comfort zone and it will open your mind. You will become a more creative person. You will start thinking out of the box. I used to be the person who used to be so much inside the box. Like I would be doing the regular monotonous work over and over again for years after years. But then I realized that that's where I was getting stuck. I felt stuck. I was not progressing. I wasn't learning anything new. My growth felt stagnant. So if you're feeling that as well, that means you're not taking enough risk in your life, my friend. So you have to get out of your comfort zone and take risk, open your mind, explore opportunities, and see what it can take you. And even if you fail, let's say you explore something new and it didn't work out for you in the long run, that's okay. Because failure itself is a great teacher in your life. Do you think I've explored and not failed? Oh my God, I have. Over and over again, a lot of times in different things I've explored. I have failed, but that's okay. Because why? Because I know I've become a much stronger person. I have acquired new skills, new knowledge, new perspectives in life that has made me become the person that I am here today. Okay, this person that has become today, and I'm not trying to brag, but I know my journey, my progress, and I know how much I've grown as an individual, and to a point where I'm even able to help other people grow into their lives. So for me, that is a huge deal. And I know this person has become this way because of some of the failures that I've achieved in the past. Failures that I've achieved, I'm saying. But yeah, I have achieved some failures. And that has made me a person which I am here today. So the point is that you must take risk and you've got to build your ability to take risks, become a more risk taker person. Don't sit in your comfort zone because that's not where your growth is. Okay, I hope it makes sense. Now, the next question in your mind must be like, okay, so what do I do to take risk? Like, how do I want to take risks, but I have so much of fears, I have limiting beliefs, I don't know if I can do this. There's so many things that can stop us and keep us stuck at one point, right? So I want to help you today how to take risk, how to increase your risk-taking capacity. Now, mind it, When I say increase your risk taking capacity, I am not referring to the risk which are called the blind risk. Okay, I do not recommend anyone to take blind risk. I mean, it's not something like, oh, this sounds fancy, this sounds fun, let me just jump into it. Okay, honestly, I've done that. I've done that so many times in the past. I don't really regret it because I was able to get different things out of that. But I still today, if I sit here, I would try and take calculated risk instead of blind risks. Okay, calculated risk simply means that you're able to evaluate the level of risk, the level of returns that you can get out of a certain opportunity and out of the certain risk that you're willing to take. Now, does that mean it's going to be accurate or right all of the time? No, absolutely not. I mean, you can calculate all you want in life, but sometimes it doesn't work the way it is. Actually, most of the time it doesn't work like that. But when you are able to calculate your risk, you're able to hedge your risk. You're able to mitigate some of the impact that this risk can bring to you. Okay, so you would be able to control a certain level of damage if it does to you. Okay, and I'll take you forward, and I'll also try and teach you how you should be able to think, what perspective you should have when you're trying to evaluate risk. So it actually depends on situation to situation, but here are some of the questions that I like to ask myself when I'm trying to evaluate a new opportunity. I like to ask this question: number one, what is the best case scenario? When I'm taking this risk, what is the best case scenario that can happen for myself? So I like to evaluate, or maybe I can increase my revenue 10x, or get a better job, or maybe I would be a more fitter person health wise. What is that best case scenario? So you've got to really evaluate what is, if you take this risk and if it works, how long, how far can you get? What would be your perfect, like the ideal scenario that you can paint for yourself? Okay, I like to evaluate that. The next thing that I like to evaluate is, what is the worst case scenario? Okay, so how far can it go bad? Like, I'm starting a business. What's a worst case scenario? Okay, maybe I can get bankrupt. I mean, I think in a business that's the worst thing that can happen, right? Let's say the worst case scenario is bankruptcy. Third thing that I like to ask myself is, if the worst case scenario did happen, okay, the worst case scenario did happen, what do I need to do in order to get back to the position where I am here today? Okay, now what does that mean? It just means that I can evaluate my next steps. There's a roadmap that I can create for myself. Let's say if I start a business and I do get bankrupt, well, is this really the end of the world? No, not really. I still have my knowledge, I still have my skills. I can get back into a job. I worked in a corporate field for 10 years and I still have amazing skills from there and learning. So I can definitely go back to my job and start a life again. So even if I go into bankruptcy, I know I can get a job and I can start. I mean, I'm not going to be on the road. I'm not going to be like, it's not going to be the end of the world, right? So this does give me certain perspective and the motivation and the courage to take that risk actually. And the last thing which I really like to evaluate and ask myself is, what is the probability of failure? Okay, because sometimes what happens is we tend to really like go into the negative, because what our fears really do is they trigger our negative emotions. Fears are here to make you stop doing something that you're supposed to do. Okay, so when we're thinking about bankruptcy, if I think about financial bankruptcy, okay, it's not that easy. It's not like I start a business today and I'm going to be bankrupt tomorrow. I mean, there has to be a series of lot of things going wrong that lead to bankruptcy. So the probability of me going bankrupt is not a very probable scenario at this point of time. I would assume like that this is what I feel, right? So I feel my best case scenario is better compared to my worst case scenario. I do feel like I have certain goals and my milestones that I've created for myself as the best case scenario. And I do feel like if I keep at it, if I keep working at it, every single day, I know I can get there. And I feel like bankruptcy will be the worst case scenario, which probably would never happen. Okay, so now this is giving me a different perspective. Then I will be like, okay, so my my best case scenario is much more evident compared to my worst case scenario. Okay, so that gives me motivation and that gives me courage to move forward. Okay, very often what happens is people actually get stuck here because they keep focusing on the worst case scenario. Oh my god, what happens if I'm bankrupt? What happens to me? What happens to my family? What happens to da da da? People start to create a bubble out of their fears. And a bubble is something which is non-existent. Bubble is something which may not be even true at that point of time. But because you have created that fear in your head, now it is stopping you from moving forward and doing what you really want to do. Okay, so this is how, I hope this is making sense. This is how you actually able to evaluate and calculate risk so that it gives you a real perspective. I'm not somebody who is like an over optimistic person. I like to be positive, but I'm also a realist. I really want to evaluate what is it that see the picture as reality. See the picture as real it can be, and not something that I inflate and create. I don't like to do that. Sometimes that happens, very, very human nature, because the brain is designed to protect you. Every time it feels uncertain, unfamiliar, the brain will start giving you indications and will try to pull you back. Okay, so you've got to understand, is these fears that is keeping you stuck, or is it keeping you alive? Another thing that I also like to do when I'm evaluating risk is I always try and seek help from other people. Who are these other people? These are the people who have actually gone and done a certain thing that I am trying to do. These are the people who have already walked the path and they're trying and they've done and been successful. So I want to always reach out to these people and want to check with them their experience, their knowledge. What is it that I need to do, I need to build in order to be successful in this field? For example, if I want to learn about financial stocks, right? So I always do my own research, my homework, obviously, but I also try and see who are these people in this field who are actually making the money that I want to make. Who are my role models. So looking for role models is always good. If there's someone in your immediate connection that can also guide you, I think that's fantastic. And the third thing that I really like to do is I like to get into coaching. Okay, I always get a coach for myself. And I've done coaching when it comes to financial planning. I've done coaching when it comes to personal growth, when it comes to relationships, when it comes to a lot of my fears and things like that. So I've been coached. I got myself coached on all these different aspects so that I have the tools, knowledge, the empowerment that I need in order to become the person I want to become and do the things that I want to do. So I have trusted the process. You have to trust the process. And while you're in this process, you have to understand there are going to be roadblocks. It's not going to be easy peasy. It's not going to be something, now I'm willing to take risk, everything will be smooth. No, that doesn't happen like that. When you are open to exploring yourself and taking that risk, that means there would be challenges that is going to pose in front of you. There will be anxieties on the way. There will be discomfort on the way. But you have to understand that they're going to be part of your growth. They are all part of your growth. Okay? If you're feeling any of those emotions, that's okay. That means you're growing. Okay? Now the whole point is don't get stuck in it. All right? Now you know you're growing. Now you need to figure out a way to move past that anxiety, move past that fears, so that you enter into the realm of growth. Okay, and I think coaching is very powerful in that. A lot of people think that coaching is not important, but coaching is something, because we all need, no matter how good you are, we all need some level of somebody who can talk to us and tell us where we are stuck and why we are stuck and how we can together unstuck ourselves. So I hope this video made sense to you. All I wanted to share is that it's important to take risk in life, because that is where your growth really lies. And even in this journey, if you are facing discomfort or anxiety, that's okay. It's part of your journey. It's part of your growth. Don't give up. Seek help. Seek a coach if you need to, and move forward in your journey. Risk is all about growth. Calculated risk is all about growth, not blind risk. Let me just remind you. And you should be able to calculate your risk and move forward. So thank you so much for watching, and let me know if you have any comments. Do subscribe to this channel if it made sense to you. You can also find me on my Instagram and my Facebook if you would like to get connected with me, and my website. I leave my website link if you need any more information, and if you would like to connect with me one-to-one, I'm more than happy to do that with you. So thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.